and come and hang out?
That's my little one.
Okay.
Say hi. You say hi?
You gonna help you?
Yeah, he's gonna write everything down for me.
Sure, I'll bet.
Are you showing your truck? Don't put it on mommy's computer.
Here, let me put my beautiful light on and make me look better.
Here you go, Grandma, and have some breakfast, huh? You gonna have some breakfast? Okay.
Okay, let's get going. We're gonna do some introductions and I'll start with me. I am Chris Whitus. I am the technology director at the Brighton Market Center, and I am also an agent. I've been an agent for 7 years, almost, it's getting close to 7.5 years now. Have been with Keller Williams the entire time. And so that's what's going on with me. So go around, introduce yourself, and tell us why you decided to go into real estate, and I'll just call out your names. Domenico.
Hi, my name is Mr. Domenico Lampi. I started this program the second week of March at Rochester, Greater Rochester Brighton office. And I was kind of late getting into all this, but now I'm trying to get on target. And I'm retired, and this is like a new business, new career. I'm stepping into the real estate business. I'm looking forward to it. And what I see, the market is real good out there. People are selling, buying houses. It's unbelievable. I just want to get into it, and that's why I'm doing this.
Hey, great. Shamar.
All right, my name is Shamar. I'm 20, gonna be 22 in May. I got into real estate just because I knew that down the line I wanted to potentially have some investment properties. Last year I lost my job due to COVID, so I'm still technically unemployed. And I was like, well, now's a perfect time to do it. I've got some free time. And I was like, might as well do it right now. Get it out of the way.
Okay, Scott.
Yeah, my name is Scott Wishmeyer. I'm coming from a business to business sales background. I'm kind of done with that. Wash my hands of that, and I figured I've been looking at real estate for a while. I figured why not now? It seemed like the right thing to do, and I feel I made the right decision.
Okay, great. Now those three are all with the Brighton Market Center. So can you throw in also which office you're with? Is it Tarika? Did I pronounce that correctly?
You did. Good morning. My name is Tarika Davis. I am coming from the healthcare field. I am coming out of the West office. I got started last month. I have watched all of the pre-recorded videos, and this is my first live video. So I'm super excited. I had
Live.
Yes. I had very much so been interested in investing and buying and holding, but I am particularly interested in coming to KW to help me get my resources and get exposure with kind of just get my feet wet and get it into the program.
Okay, great. Megan.
I am Megan R. Scott. I'm new to real estate. I joined a couple months ago. So I started a little bit of the classes, but now I'm delving right into it. But a while ago, I was with a real estate marketing company in New York City before I had kids. So I'm kind of coming back from the whole mom wagon. So I'm excited to get back into something I love, meeting new people. I like real estate a lot. So I thought it would be a fun industry to be in. So I'm excited about it. And I'm with the Brighton office.
Okay, cool. Audrey. Put you on the spot.
There we go. Hi, I'm Audrey Coon. It's my 16-month-old baby. Yeah, you having fun? I'm gonna be 25 in November. He'll be 2 in December. I'm with the Brighton office, and I really got into real estate because of my husband. We were trying to find a good career for me, and it was either going into being a lawyer or going into real estate. And he goes, well, it's a cheaper way to go and a faster way to go, and then make about the same amount of money. So that was my idea, or his idea, and then became my idea, so I decided to go with it. I just want to yell while mommy's talking. Huh? Here goes. No, you don't want to go with grandma. So, yeah, that's me.
Okay, Laura.
Hello, I'm Laura Fluger. I'm going to be in the West office. I started getting into this. I had lost my job last year due to COVID, but I was working in sales and recruiting. But real estate is something I've always wanted to get into, so I felt like it was the perfect opportunity to actually take the time and do the courses and everything. And I actually just started getting into this on Friday when I did all the paperwork. So this is my first video.
Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome. Okay, Kristen.
Hi, my name is Kristen. I'm from the Brighton office. I joined Keller Williams in January and was able to jump on a few classes and really just kind of listen and not actively to participate because of my other job. So now I'm hopefully going to participate in the live conferences now. And I have sold one house. I'm waiting for it to close. And my previous jobs, actually, I own 2 businesses. One is a real estate investment business, and I also renovate homes. So I'm really trying to move more towards this and less of the others.
Cool, cool. So you're going to have a little bit of a different perspective than some of the rest of them, because you've had was it a purchase? Was it a buy?
No, I sold a property.
Okay, so it was a listing.
Yes.
Nice, nice, nice. Last time through, one of the agents who had started in November and had gone through the full Ignite series came on again. And you know, he's and I totally agree with what he said. You know, he said, if you come back a little bit later, you're going to have a different perspective. You're going to understand some of what's being talked about, right?
Right.
Because now you guys are all in the, you know, extreme learning phase. And, you know, I know when you get into real estate, there's a lot thrown at you and you're just kind of like, oh my God. But a couple months later, if you come back, you're going to say, oh, I know what they were talking about now.
Very
And you know, it's a different perspective. When I first started, we had a different Ignite program, but I did it 3 times. And I found, you know, every time I did it, I got some little pearl of wisdom, you know, from whomever was teaching it, or again, different perspective. You know, after you've done a bit of work in the industry. Okay, Marcel, so you're from New York City.
I am. Good morning.
Good
My
morning.
name's Marcel Wilson from the Keller Williams New York City office. I've been an agent for 8 months, but this
Okay.
is my 2nd week with Keller Williams.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Before coming into real estate, I was actually a dancer with Ailey 2, the second company of the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater.
Cool.
And lost my job due to COVID. We all know artists and dancers, theaters are closed. And I've always moved around a lot growing up. So I was like, let me just go into real estate. And I've been doing it ever since.
Okay. And so the industry in New York City is very different than it is here in upstate New York. I know when we do the classes, it's like, okay, this is the way it works downstate. This is the way it works upstate. Things are very different, even though we're in the same state and,
Right.
we're all licensed to work throughout the state. That's not always a good idea. You always want to, um, if you've got someone who's looking for something in, say, Syracuse or something, even though it's not that far away from Rochester, um, unless you live close to Syracuse or something like that, you might be better off referring that person to a person in a Syracuse market center. That's one of the cool things about Keller Williams is we're everywhere. So there's agents everywhere, and you can basically interview them, and make sure that your friend or whomever is taken care of well by whoever you might recommend to them. So welcome. Okay, Kaylee.
Hi, my name is Kaylee. I'm from the Brighton office as well. I kind of got into it. So I met Bob Benjamin, who is a broker there at my previous job, and he kind of recruited me into starting. So I took his advice and started classes, and this is where we are.
Okay. Okay, Emily.
Good morning.
Good
Can you hear me?
morning. Yep.
Okay. I'm actually through the Gateway Center out on
Okay.
332 in Canandaigua. And I got into this because I've got 2 children that today's the first day back to school full time. Not excited,
Yay.
let me tell you. It was an amazing morning. It was amazing. Anyhow, I've been working part-time so I could take care of them and be home with them and, still kind of work a little bit. Always have loved real estate, love the idea of investment properties. And so I had reached out to an old coworker of mine who is a real estate agent, and he recommended me to jump on board and kind of advised me a little bit and told me that Keller Williams was a great place to go. And so, I've been doing this for a couple weeks now and excited to get started, excited to get out there and, just start a new career, start a new change in my life.
Yeah. Was that person with Keller Williams?
He wasn't.
No. Okay.
No, Susan Glantz would like him to come over, but he hasn't yet.
Oh, okay. Okay.
She's like, we'll get him there someday, Emily. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. When I was looking at real estate, I talked with someone that had been in the business for 30 years, not with Keller Williams, and was originally, recommended, okay, this company, and it wasn't Keller Williams, has a great training program. So, I'd recommend that you go there. And a couple weeks before I took the class, I met someone who had just moved over to Keller Williams and was invited into the office. And I met Chuck and met some of the other people in the office. And so this was the days where we could actually meet in person. Chuck said, you can come to any of our classes. So in the couple weeks before I started taking the real estate class, I came into the office, got to know people, and in the end decided that this is where I wanted to go. So
yeah, I've heard great things about the training programs.
Yeah,
great things.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
Okay, great. Okay, let's get started. And I am going to hang on. Somebody just tried to call me and I text her saying that I was teaching. Oh, okay. So she just told me she's good. And let me turn off my phone. Okay, so let me share my screen. Hang on. Let me do something first. Oh, and now I can't see you guys at all. Okay. Okay, can you guys see this ignites skills to spark a great career?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, great, great.
And Chris, I'm just gonna give my son his medicine real quick.
Okay. Okay. So, Ignite is a month-long training program. And it is, I think it's 20 sessions. That is going to give you the essentials to build a successful career in your real estate business. So the first 2 weeks of Ignite are called Spark. And the overreaching goal of Spark is to help you get an appointment with a buyer or a seller. And this will set you up to sign a contract in 30 days so you can begin to achieve the life you imagine in real estate. So that's the goal, is for you to get an appointment so that you can then get going with your business. And Spark, the goal is to give you the skills to, one of the things that's there are teaching you how to, okay, hang on. I'm gonna mute a few. To help you to learn some of the skills that you're going to need. And to make it easy for you, some of the things will be scripts and working on scripts. So scripts to me sounds like, okay, it's pretty theatrical and whatever. So you're going to sound like you're acting. The goal with scripts is to give you guidance on the right things to say to people. And in the Ignite toolkit, there's a couple of great script books. And you want to go through the script and you want to make it yours. So you don't want to sound like an automatron, while you're reading through it. You want it to sound real and genuine. And so one of the things you're going to have a lot of throughout this is script practice. And one of the things that's going on here now, have you guys seen in the meeting notices, Jared Korecki is coming in pretty much every day from starting at 8 o'clock to help out new agents, seasoned agents, etc., learn and practice your real estate business. So I strongly recommend that you take advantage of that. So Mondays and Tuesdays, he's here in Brighton. Wednesdays, he takes off. And Thursday and Friday, he's at the West office. So I highly, highly recommend it. Jared, when did Jared start? Jared's been an agent for 4 or 5 years, and he just really dove in, and I always just thought he was fearless, when he talked with people, but he learned, and he learned the right things to say. Okay, also along the way, you're going to work on building your database. So as I said, you're going to practice scripts. You're going to contact prospective clients, and you're going to also do what you can to learn your market. In the first 2 weeks, you're going to establish the core activities and habits that you're going to use through your entire real estate career. And so one of the things that you're going to want to do is start to build habits. One of the things that you'll learn is it takes 66 days to make a habit. And one of the documents that is in the toolkit is a 66-day planner. So for these next 4 weeks, basically your mornings are going to be spent in Ignite. In most cases, you'll be able to make some calls during that time. And so you need to get into the habit of working on your business. Okay? Any questions? Okay, so I know we kind of talked about already, why you wanted to become a real estate agent. And with some of you, you said you've always been interested in it. Others, you want to get into investing. Some, it was just like, okay, so it seemed like the right time. I'm going to try it out. So if you think about your ideal life, what is it? What are you going to do for the people you care about? What charities would you support? How would you make the lives of yourself and everyone around you better? And you guys can go ahead and unmute yourselves and talk if you'd like.
So for me, my long-term life goal is I want to start a dance conservatory here in New York City. But I know that, most times the mission of an organization can be skewed when you're receiving money from donors and people giving to your organization. So I want to have a thriving real estate business so that I can fund my school with my own money. And I can keep true to what the mission is.
Okay. And our fire alarm is going off right now. So I am going to pause the recording and I'm going to leave this up and let you guys go ahead and talk amongst yourselves. And then I'm going to see what the heck's going on. And see, okay, I've got way too many windows open.
Chris, if you want, you can call me on the phone and I can have the thing unmuted.
Oh, no, that's okay. That's okay. I'm going to stop my sharing. So hi, guys.
You didn't burn down.
We didn't burn down. They let us back in. I have no idea what it was. So
Somebody pulled the alarm, that's all. They did a prank.
yeah, hopefully not.
Yeah.
I realized I hadn't stopped screen sharing. But so you guys were kind of talking about things you've done for marketing yourselves and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you see the meeting today at 1?
Yeah.
It's a marketing mastermind.
Yep.
You guys going to be able to join?
I
plan on it.
have therapy at 1:15, so I'm unmuted.
I actually have to dip out of here early. I have my COVID vaccine today at noon, so I actually won't be able to.
Oh,
attend.
do you?
Yeah, not looking forward to it, but
First one or second one?
first one.
My dad tried to play a joke on me when he got his. He's 65 years old going in for a knee surgery, and he called me and he goes, I got a lump on the back of my neck and some weird thing going on. And I panicked. He lived 45 minutes away. I got in the car and he goes, I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh. Terrible.
Oh man.
The first one's not too bad. I just got mine on Saturday.
Yeah, I got mine 2 weeks ago, so it wasn't too
Both of
bad.
mine.
I want to get mine, but I don't know how or anything like that because I've been a stay-at-home mom, so I'm not like in the essential thing.
I think
You don't
now
have to be an
open
essential
everything
anymore.
to
Just
17,
go
you can
get
do
it.
it.
Yeah.
Anybody 16 years and over can get it now.
Yeah, I just went on Walgreens and
okay.
signed up. Yeah.
You can go to Monroe County Gov or Monroe County COVID vaccine stuff site or whatever that is. If you type it in and then it pulls up and you'll be able to get an appointment. It's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had both of mine. So the thing is, make sure you move your arm around.
Yeah.
And
Drink lots of water.
lots of
Yeah.
water. And I had been told to do some electrolytes, so I got Pedialyte.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go for a long run.
Yeah.
I don't run in general.
They said
Okay.
Tylenol too, and not Advil. Tylenol.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know. Good to know.
I got mine and did a 20-mile run.
Nice.
I don't even know if I can go a mile anymore.
I know.
Okay, let's get back to what's your mindset in the business? Do you have anything that you might call a limiting belief? Do you know what a limiting belief is?
Limiting belief.
Yep.
Mm-mm.
Go
It's
Maybe.
a limiting belief is if you believe you can do something, you can do it. If you believe you can't do something, you can't do it.
Yep. So it's a way of thinking that can hold you back from success. So one of the things that they point out in my little notes here, as you go through Ignite, you might find yourself thinking, geez, I don't have enough time to devote 3 hours a day to lead generation. That's what successful agents do. They're not necessarily always calling, during that time, but they're doing something to stay in touch with the people in their database. And so here's a Henry Ford quote about limiting beliefs. If you think you can do a thing or think you can't do a thing, you're right, which is pretty much exactly what Scott just said. So a lot of this is your mindset and, how you get yourself going and motivated. And, if you have any barriers, figuring out how you're going to jump over those barriers. Okay.
I'm a firm believer that everything is just an obstacle, and any obstacle you can overcome. I mean, I'm a guy who had a stroke, and then 3 weeks later I ran an ultra race. I mean, if you believe you can do it, you can do it.
Yeah, the day Scott came in to meet with me, we got done and he was heading off to do a 36-mile run. I think he's a little crazy, but that's okay.
That's a lot.
A smidge. I've actually run that same run 3
miles in my
times
life.
I mean, it's amazing. That's something else. I think I've only ran maybe 10 miles at most one time.
I
like to run, but I don't like to run that much.
I'm an ultra marathoner. It's
How
kind
to
of my
run
thing.
that much, man.
Yep. But I mean, it was Scott's mindset. As he said, he had a stroke. He told me that his doctor told him he wasn't really going to run again. And so he just said, hey, I'm gonna.
I won the battle at Bristol Mountain afterwards. So
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no excuses. Excuses are terrible. Never have an excuse. It's just the worst things in the world. Just do it.
So go to page 4 in your participant guide. And that goes with the slide that I'm showing you right now. So the secret to being a successful real estate agent is that there really aren't any secrets. You put your mind to it and, learn from the best. Just keep learning. One of the things I always tell people is you're never going to be bored because you're always going to be learning. There's no 2 deals in real estate that are ever exactly the same. And so you just keep learning and applying what you're learning. And one of the great things about Keller Williams is we're also very much a sharing company. And so if you have some kind of an issue, you've got some kind of a deal going on and you're not quite sure how to proceed, you know, talk with one of us, get help. We want to make sure that you are the best you can be and that you're not, frustrated. So success leaves clues. And we have a lot of successful agents around here. Last year we had, I think, our highest year ever. And last year with the whole COVID thing, and for a little while, agents were not even allowed to go onto a property. We couldn't meet with people. But so everybody, or those that became really successful, pivoted. They learned how to do things with Zoom. Okay, we didn't really use Zoom a whole lot before last year. And so we started doing meetings via Zoom, and we had, I think, at least 3 meetings per week with leadership because everything was changing so quickly that, people needed to kind of learn new things and understand what we could and couldn't do along the way. But people shared. We had meetings on how people were doing open houses virtually. How Tiffany Hilbert did one where she listed a house, had her client take the pictures and a video and walk the person through it. And so she gave us a class on how she did that. So where there's a will, there's a way. So successful agents, every day, you're going to grow your business. You're going to lead generate for both buyers and sellers. You're going to make seller listing presentations and get listings. You're going to make buyer presentations and get listings. And you're going to preview real estate. The other thing that you're going to do is run your business. You're going to market listings. You're going to show houses to buyers. You're going to negotiate contracts. You're going to do transaction management to closing. I always say that, once we get an accepted offer, we turn into a project manager, because that's what we're doing. We're making sure that the attorneys are getting their things done, that your clients are getting their portions done, that the lenders are getting things done and all in a timely manner. So you're coordinating all of that. And if there's parts that you're specifically involved in, make sure that you get your portions done. So vendor management, setting goals, compliance and risk management, attending training and get coaching. And so that's part of running your business, is training and getting coaching. So it just continues on, it continues on, it continues on. And manage your money. And one of the little notes here is that if you don't do this side, grow your business, you're not going to have to do the run your business side, because you won't really have the business to run. Any thoughts on this? So Kristen, you listed a house. So was the house with someone that you knew before?
Yes, it was
Okay.
a friend of mine.
Okay. Did you have to do a listing presentation, or was it kind of a foregone conclusion?
I did not have to do a presentation because it was an estate sale. So I went to my friend's executor and asked them if I could do the honor of selling the house for them.
Okay.
And they
Perfect.
said yes.
And they said yes.
So actually what I did do with the help of my mentor was I went into RPR, and I did create a, what do you call it? A comparative analysis
Mhm.
for them so that they could see what the values of the houses were that were around it, what was the value of the actual house. So to prepare them for when we started to talk about what we were going to list the property at. In the
Okay. Perfect, perfect. And as we go along through Ignite, so as I said, we've got the Spark series, and then at the end of Spark, there's a local class. And that's, I think we've got Karen Hilbert again, and she talks about contracts and the, you know, from getting contract to close, some of the process there. And then you'll go through the elementals, which is all regional, until the very, very last one. And then you're going to get me again. And I'm glad you mentioned RPR, Kristen, because what I've been doing for the last one is going over some of the tools that you have in GRAR, some of the tools you don't necessarily learn about. If you've come to the office meetings, you know, we talk about statistics. So we can go into InfoSparks and look at some of the great statistics that are there and easily available for us into RPR. That's one of my favorite tools. So into some of the other things that I know you'll be taking transaction desk training, you'll be taking matrix training, but you don't necessarily get training for some of the other portions of GRAR. Any other thoughts about you know, growing the business, running the business? Okay. Okay, so what is Spark? We talked about that a little bit. So we're going to, you know, we've already talked about what Spark is. The goal of Spark is to give you the tools and make you feel comfortable or be uncomfortable for a while and then learn to become comfortable in talking with people. And starting with your sphere. So that's one of the things, you guys all know people. They're going to be the easiest people for you to get to work with you because they already know you. They know, you know, they're comfortable with you. They trust you, and they trust that you are also going to do a great job for them. So we'll be talking about tools, preparing for success, recapping, and talk about your daily success habits. Okay, and your success habits are going to be building your database, script practice, lead generation, and that's where we're going to go. Okay, so welcome to Ignite. There's a video here with Gary Keller. Let me know right up front if you can hear the sound, and if not, I need to make a couple of adjustments. Okay, let me start it up. Okay.
No.
Okay. So you can't hear, right?
Nope.
Oh, here.
No.
Okay. Yep. This is always fun to find. Okay, I got it. Okay, let me go back to the beginning.
You can build on, because if you... Hi, I'm Gary Keller. This course will allow you to get off to a fast start you can build on, because if you repeated the principles every 90 days for a year, believe me, you have an awesome first year. And just as important, you would have built the foundation and momentum for your entire career. It is practical, realistic, and easy to apply. It's about the fundamentals that determine your level of success in the business of real estate. From our research with top agents, we have found that they too started their careers with these fundamentals, and they continue to do them along with their teams to this very day. And it's not hard. It just requires a little focused effort, a few hours every day. Now, there is really just one way to achieve the goal. It's lead generation. Other skills are important, yet without leads to work with, your skills won't mean a thing. Dealing with business never takes precedence over what? Finding business. Never. Research shows that top producing agents make lead generation their #1 priority and the one thing they make sure they always get done. You can do this. And when you do, you will get the leads, the relationships, the experiences, the career, and the income that you want and deserve. Go get them, and good luck. Hi, I'm Gary Keller.
We
This
don't need
course
him
will
again.
allow you to get off to a fast.
Okay, so what did you guys hear there?
Lead generation.
Yep.
Yeah.
You gotta work at it 3 hours a day. Just make calls, call your customer, call your friends, call your buddies, call whomever. Just to get the word out that you're here to help them sell houses, buy houses.
And so one of the things he said is doing business never takes priority over finding business. So there's you always need to make sure that you have a stream of people coming in that you can help. A little note that I missed a couple pages earlier. So lead generation. So as Domenico said, call everybody, talk with everybody. Lead generation really is about caring for people. Our goal should be to make their lives better. So it's not necessarily hey, I'm a real estate agent. Can I sell your house? You don't want to do that.
No, actually, no, you don't want to do it. I'm just excited right now. But when my reaction towards another person, I'll be a very caring, gentle person. Explain to that person his best interest, not mine, his, because he's my client. He's the most important person, and he's the person I'm going to serve.
Yep. And one of the things, I don't know if you guys have watched the foundations course that Harlan Furbush did. It's on the YouTube channel. But one of the things that resonated with me is that one of his goals was to build relationships, to really get to know the people. So if it wasn't somebody that he knew before, his goal really is to get to know them, because that's going to bring you repeat business. And people are going to refer other people to you. And that's what you want to happen, is to have people say, hey, okay, you want to buy a house. I worked with this agent a couple of years ago. You need to talk with them. And actually, I just met with somebody Friday that one of my past clients referred to me. They worked together, and this person came in and met with me, and she said, she doesn't really, what she needed to know yet. And she's actually not at all at the point where she's going to be able to buy a house. But we went through the process, and so I gave her a couple of mortgage lenders that I asked her to talk with, see what kinds of programs they might have that might work for this person. And, and if it's a situation where she's really not ready to buy yet, they'll help her identify, okay, what's going to get you to the point where you are ready to buy.
So Chris, Harlan was actually my real estate agent.
Was he really? Okay.
Yes, he helped me buy my ex-husband and I buy our first home 12, 13 years ago.
Okay.
And I get Christmas cards from him every year. I get birthday cards from him every year. I just get, he's got letters, everything that comes through every year. And I had referred him to a friend of mine just because he's always sending me stuff. He's always involved. It's like, he's always like, hey, I'm here for you. You need something, things like that. And I referred him to a friend of mine who bought a house. And in return, he sent me a thank you card with a gift inside it. Like, he just speaks volumes for the fact that you're staying in touch and you're keeping your leads or your whatever you call your clients always present. They're always on your mailing list.
Right. You want to stay in touch with people. You want to be useful.
Yeah.
You want to be the person that if somebody needs something, they need to know a painter or someone, hey, I've got ants, who do you know? You want to be the person that they come to.
Yeah.
So that was awesome. Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, you got the experience, with him, and, it has to be, continuous. People have to continue to be, given something that identifies that you're in real estate. So if they need something, or if they know of someone that needs something, you're going to be the person that they think about.
And that kind of goes back to in the book that we were provided, the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, that goes back to like the 32 touches a year, right? So when they think of that, you're literally the first person that comes to mind. So they really, you got to make sure that you're in their head, basically.
Right. So one of the things, since you're talking about the touches, so with our tools that we have now, Command, and you guys are all lucky because we've gone through a few different sets of tools at Keller Williams. And so you guys get to learn Command and get to understand all of its gloriousness and what you can do with it. Our older CRM system that we just turned off the end of the year had a campaign that was called a 33 touch. And so it was all laid out for you. It was newsletters and tasks to call people. And I can't even remember what all was in it, but it was 33 touches throughout the year. What Keller Williams does with Command is, okay, you still want to do 33 or 32 touches, but there's so many different things that you can do with Command to touch people that you can customize it for each person. So you can say, okay, so if I'm going to do, have you guys all know about the monthly neighborhood nurture, where you can, if you have somebody's address, you can basically get this nice little website for them. And there's a smart plan called monthly neighborhood nurture. So that's 12 touches a year, right? And one of the things you're going to hear along the way also is that you should call your database every 90 days. Well, there's one in there that's quarterly call plan. So it's going to give you a reminder to call them, every 90 days. So you've got 16 touches right there, right? So, you can easily build and customize for the different people that you have in your database. Some people it's like, oh, it was so easy to just use that. But here you can make it, Command is built to help you foster relationships and to maintain relationships and to help you, give you the tools so you can just, and let you decide how you want to work with different people in your lives. Okay, anything else?
Hi, I'm Gary
back to
Keller.
Gary Keller. Okay. Nothing else about your business will have as big an impact on it as the number of leads you have. And I'm going to kind of define leads here. So there's leads that are paid leads that you're going to hear. Some people are doing Facebook ads and getting leads. Those aren't people that know and love you, right? They are going to be work. And that's a whole new set of smart plans and calls and scripts and whatever to try to entice them to work with you, because quite frankly, they don't care about you. They just found something that was advertised and happened to find you. So unless you can work with them enough and get them to respond to you, they're not going to be the easiest people to work with. The other thing that our leads are the people that you already know and love and that know and love you. And so the more people you have in your database, the more you keep in touch with them, the better your business is going to be. And the happier you make them. I'm sure that, along the way, you're going to hear about, some agents that might be a little unscrupulous. And we're not actually allowed to talk about them. But you don't want to be that person. You want to be the person who works very, very, very well with the other agents that you're working with. And it's good to know and meet as many people in the business as you can. You get more allies, and you can feel comfortable with telling people, hey, this person has this type of a mortgage. Why don't you give them a call? They've done a great job for other clients of mine. And of course, you need to give a couple of different people. So the more allies you can find, the better you are also. Yeah, so my notes on this one: explain that your skills don't mean anything without leads to use them on. Right? So you can learn all kinds of great stuff. But if you don't have people to talk to and to work with, it's not really going to mean anything. Successful agents master lead generation first and continue to lead generate every day. That's why we built Ignite around focusing you on successful lead generation habits while building your confidence in real estate. Okay, so Spark. Ignite is 4 weeks where you learn the foundations for your success, as I mentioned before, including your daily success habits. Your success habits are those things that successful agents do every day, including lead generation. The first 2 weeks are called Spark. And here they define it as Spark is your incubator for success, where you will learn how to set a successful mindset, lead generate, and get the confidence of a seller or a buyer in your first appointment. After learning those foundations and developing some successful client relationships in Spark, you're going to move to Elementals to learn how to move forward and to learn the skills you're going to need to take those appointments to a successful closing. And some of the things you're going to see in the Elementals are marketing and even financials. One of them deals all with, tracking your financials. What are some of the other ones? Open houses, how to do that successfully. And in the whole COVID world, how to do open houses has changed a little bit. It's starting to open up a little bit. For a short time, it was basically all virtual. So there would be a Zoom set up, and the agent would go through the house, and they would have people that were interested in the house on the Zoom asking questions. And it was just the way it had to be. According to the National Association of Realtors, we were talking about that whole business and working with people that you like and making them love you. According to the National Association of Realtors, 66% of sellers and 41% of buyers find an agent through a friend. And I'm going to say, so I became an agent after being in the corporate world for quite some time. And it was amazing how all of a sudden I became the expert in real estate. Even though they had known me as something totally different, you know, I let people know that I am now in real estate. And so they started coming to me. And one of the things you kind of build on the business. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot to learn on how to do the contracts, how to successfully negotiate, how to get in touch with people. There's a lot of things woven together, and you can't learn everything all at once, but you can start working with, you know, learn how to make a great call, make people feel really, really important, that you love them. And then if somebody says, oh, well, I have a house to sell, then you go, oh, okay, I need to learn that part. So you keep doing the basics every day. And then as you go along, you're going to learn the next pieces that you're going to have to learn in order to be successful. So the first people, you all have, how many people do you think you have in your contact list on your cell phone?
What?
A lot. A lot. Some people I probably don't even know who they are anymore.
I agree with that right there.
Yep.
So someone, sorry.
Go ahead, Mary.
Well, someone made a good point one day, maybe not have someone in your contact list unless if you saw them at the grocery store, you'd stop and talk to them. And I thought that was a really good idea.
Mm-hmm.
That is a good one.
Another thing too, so I was actually referred to Keller Williams by Jason Mancuso. What he told me, because we've been in contact, I mean, for the past month and a half. But what he told me on like one of my first phone calls with him was that you want to think of the biggest and the best wedding that you're, like, say you were getting married today, who are you going to invite? And those are going to be like where you're going to, you know, want to start from, because those are people that, you know, you already know, and you've already developed a relationship with them. So it's gonna make it easier long term, is I guess what I kind of understood from what he was telling me.
Yeah, I like that. You know, and as I said, those are going to be the easy people to talk to, right? Those are the people that you're already comfortable with. You know, and maybe they'll even let you practice on them. But yeah, that's excellent advice. I met Jason. I did a deal with Jason before he was part of Keller Williams.
Okay.
And he came over a couple of years after that. So in my notes here, it says, so if you look at the number of contacts you have on your phone, take that number, say if it's 1,500, multiply it by 6%. So multiply it by 0.06. This number gives you the average number of real estate actions that will be happening in the next 12 months within your sphere of influence. Once you have that number, multiply it by the average commission rate in your marketplace. This number will highlight the path to the amount of money you wish to make. So in the end, that takes it down to money, which in the end, you want to make money, right? But so if you take 6% of the people that are in your database, that number, they say, gives you the average number of actions that will be happening within the next 12 months within your sphere of influence, if you count those people as your sphere of influence. And Megan had a good point. You know, it's like people that you would see in the grocery store and you would know them. And I liked the idea that Jason had too, is who would you invite to your wedding? Those are the people to start with. Okay, so Ignite. Spark is the whys and hows of lead generation, and Elementals is going to be your business basics. So as I said, the goal of Spark is for you to get an appointment, and all along the way, you're going to be building habits that are going to lead to success. Okay? Okay, so now we're going to start with our sphere. And we've already talked about this a whole bunch, actually, that it makes sense to start with our sphere of influence, those people that you already know. And in the section, we're going to define our sphere and also practice reconnecting with people in our sphere. And I've realized, you know, over this last year where, what did I talk about with a friend, that our world's become kind of small, you know, because we've had to be careful about who we're meeting with. And I'm realizing that there's a bunch of people that I haven't talked with for a while, and I need to get in touch with them again. Okay, so your sphere is people you have met in one way, shape, or form. So they might be people that you know really, really, really well, and that you would be able to recognize them in the grocery store, even with a mask over half of their face. Or the people that you would invite to your wedding. You know, those people are the ones that already know, trust, and respect you. And therefore, they're likely to be willing to help you. Because after all, people do like to do business with those they know, trust, and respect. You've established a reciprocal communication with the people in your sphere. So as we mentioned before, the contacts in your phone are a good place to start with. And would you guys prefer to do business with people you know, trust, and respect? Do you think your friends and their friends and people that you know or maybe just met a couple times would rather use a realtor they know and trust?
Absolutely.
Okay. And again, those same stats, according to the National Association of Realtors, 66% of sellers, 41% of buyers found their agent through a friend, neighbor, or relative, or use an agent they had worked with before. So some of the things you want to look at is, you know, who do you know that's going through a life change? You know, is it possible that they could use their help? You know of someone who is getting divorced, is getting married. Kristen's situation was, it was an estate sale, and you know, she helped them with selling the house. There's a change going on, and Those are the people that are going to need your help moving forward. And it costs nothing to call people that you already know. And right now we're actually kind of limited because we are only supposed to call people that we already have a relationship with. There's the do not call order that's out there and is expected to be out there. So I know it's officially been extended to April 25th. Anthony Gatto, the NYSAR legal guy, the other day said that he expects it's going to go, through the summer and maybe into September. So you want to focus on those people that you know. And I'll tell
Can I
you that
ask you-
actually, yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, Chris, can I ask you, what's the no call ban? What is that? I'm not familiar with that.
Okay, so that is, we are not allowed to make cold calls.
Okay.
To people. The one exception is a for sale by owner situation. If you have a buyer for them, you are allowed to call them.
Interesting. Was this
But-
because of COVID or just
Uh-huh.
the world we live in? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. I wasn't sure.
Yes,
So that includes, obviously no door-to-door then.
right.
It seems like
Um,
it makes everything so much harder too
But
now
you
that
can-
we can't do that.
You can still send mailings though, right? Like that's
yes,
okay.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure.
yep, that is still allowed.
Okay.
Anthony also felt that, texts were not allowed right now either.
What about emails?
Hmm?
What about emails?
Emails to someone you don't know. I wouldn't do it. So I know some of you were on the meeting with Anthony Gatto the other day. It is recorded, and I have the recording in the YouTube channel. So go and watch it. A lot of it's about advertising and what you can do and what you can't do. And I know Audrey was on and had a whole bunch of questions for him. And he had a few technical difficulties partway through. His internet just totally went down. So he came on and
Then we got
did
a
the rest
phone
of it.
call.
And we expect that he'll be doing another one along the way because we weren't able to take full advantage of him. But it's good to listen to Anthony. He's been here in Rochester a couple times, and I've gone to see him, and he really breaks down, what are the things you can do, the things that you can't do, the things that you shouldn't do.
He
and
did
makes it
really
easy
good.
for
All
us.
my questions I had, he broke it down. And every time, the one thing I really like about him is when he breaks down a question. I mean, you can ask him one simple question, he breaks it down for like 5 minutes and it really explains it. I really like that.
Yep. He's a good guy, and if one person has a question, that probably half the other people are thinking the same thing, right? It's just that, okay, Audrey was the one that had the guts to ask the question.
I'm a big question asker.
Yes, you are. So as far as calling people, it costs nothing to call people you already know. Since you already know them, it takes fewer touches and less effort to get them to want to help you by giving you their business or referring friends and family. People that you haven't already met. Some of those where, again, people, getting paid leads and things like that are going to take a lot more time and effort to convince than those you already know. If you want to look into that a little bit more. So one of the things Command makes rather easy to do is Facebook ads. And you can get leads from them, but of course, they're not going to be people that know you and love you. A few weeks ago, actually, it was probably last month, Jeffrey Lamica and I did a class on Facebook, and I talked about the social posts that Command will help you do on Facebook. And Jeffrey talked about the paid ads. He uses them a lot. And then also the systems that he uses to follow up with them. So that's a good thing if you're thinking about doing something like that. You know, it's a good thing to watch that. Okay. Page 7 in your guide. Go look at what page. Okay. So page 7 in your guide is defining your sphere. So you can kind of think about this and write down who are some of these people that you might want to get in touch with. Who do you know that's going through a life event that might lead to a move? Who doesn't know yet that you're a real estate agent? Probably most of the people that you know don't know yet, right? You know, who have you not spoken to in the last 2 weeks? You know, those are some of the people that you may want to write down and, you know, be some of the first people on your list to talk with. You guys have some people that you can add to those lists? You just start writing people down and you can you know, figure out who you want to talk with. So then on page 8 in your guide is this little wave thing here. The waves, staying in touch with your sphere. So the average person moves every 7 to 10 years. Right after that move, the likelihood that they'll want to move again is at its lowest point. So here's the top point. Now they've made the move and we're going down here to the bottom. So that's where they're least likely to do something. However, at that point, if you did a great job, actually, if you were the one that helped them move, you know, and you did a great job, they're going to tell all their friends and family and anybody that needs to move, they're going to hopefully recommend you. So here's where they move. Here's where they're getting ready to move. Here's right after they move. Not a big likelihood that they're going to move again for a while. But one of the things that you want to do is once they're in the trough, make sure you keep in touch. Like with Emily, Harlan has kept in touch with her. And how long ago was that, Emily?
Am I muted? Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
My oldest son is 12, so 12 years ago, 11 years ago, something like that.
Okay. And would Harlan, you said that when you did refer someone to Harlan, you got a nice thank you card and a gift, right?
Yes, yeah. I mean, he sends me Christmas cards every year.
Okay. Yep.
Sends me birthday cards every year. He's fantastic. It just,
yes.
it's that constantly, you know, you don't forget things like that. When someone stays in touch and checks in on you and things like that, they constantly, you know, they stay right there. So when you're thinking about somebody that's looking for a house or somebody mentions, it's like the first thing you do is you go, oh yeah, well, this is my real estate agent. This is how amazing he is. And, you know, his reputation and. Oh.
Yep. So then working up along this wave, these little marks here, these are to getting ready to their next move. And you want to make sure that you stay in touch with them. So when they're ready to make their next move, you're going to be the person that they go to. So do you guys have some people in your sphere that you could add to the model? Who do you know that's
Actually, do.
recently moved? Who might be thinking about moving soon? Who's somewhere in the middle?
Well, my
Actually,
younger
have
sister
a-
just moved back from New York City.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, I don't know if that broke up a little bit. And so she's been renting and now she's ready to buy a house. Or buy
Okay.
a house with the potential of it being some type of an investment property or rental at some point.
Okay.
So, and then I have a really good friend of mine, or my mom's, who is kind of in that transition point in her life where she's getting ready to semi-retire and, you know, lives on her own, and she's thinking about getting ready to sell her house so she can travel a little as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So right now, selling the house is going to be the easy one.
Right. I've had my
Um,
sister, we started looking at houses, and it's interesting to get, it's fun because it's like, it's somebody you know. She
Mhm.
knows that I'm new to real estate, so she's willing to kind of work with me along the way. And, you know, she's my sister. It's cool to get out there and see, you know, like you take her to a home and you kind of not sure what, she's not quite 100% sure what she wants. So you're looking at different properties and, you know, it's cool. I'm getting into the system of looking at showtime and or showing time and how to set that up and how to talk with the real estate agent that's the buyer or the seller's real estate agent. So it's been kind of fun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Different. It's new. I'm like, I don't know anything.
But you're getting that practice, right?
Right.
You know, you're practicing everything with someone who knows you and doesn't mind that you're practicing on them.
Correct. It's like getting my feet wet a little bit, you know, with somebody who loves you and trusts you, and, you know, they're not going to go, oh, I'm never going to recommend her because she didn't say that or she didn't do this or. You know? So.
Yep. So here's another question that they gave me. How would you feel if your friends only called you if they wanted something from you? Would you feel like they cared about you?
That's what we call family.
Hmm?
That's what family is.
Okay. What if you don't have family here?
Lucky.
Well, I mean, they're calling you, so they might only want something for them, but I feel like long term that could be something for you too.
I mean, long term, their money's going in your pocket.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep. So do you trust people that you think care about you more with your money?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk with them and do business with them?
Yes.
So if you feel like they care, even though in the end, so at closing, you get paid. But you have to get to closing to get paid. So you get your people, you work through all of the process with your allies, the other agent. And, you know, if there's any difficulties, you know, you figure out how to work through them. And in the end, as long as your client's happy, you're going to be happy too.
And if they trust you and you've gone along the process with them the right way, they're going to be happy that you're getting paid.
Right. Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
they want their money to go to somebody who they know cares.
Yep.
And is there for them and has their back.
Yep. So as we've talked about a bunch, you want to stay top of mind as the realtor of choice consistently so that when they're ready to buy, you're their first call. If you don't talk to them for 8 years after a deal, why would they call you first when they're ready to move? You know, that's sometimes it's always kind of interesting to go back and go into Matrix and look at a listing and see, you can, if it had sold, say in the last 10 years or so, where you can go back and look at the history, go back and see if that agent who's their listing agent is the one that helped them buy it. A lot of times they're not. And that's because they don't even know who they are anymore. But so you want to be the person that once you help them buy a house, once they're ready to sell it, that you're going to be the first person they think about.
Nurturing the relationship.
Yep. Yep.
It's like that in that's what we did in business to business sales as well. Continue
Right.
to nurture the relationship, and you'll have a customer for life.
Yep. Yep.
So I do have a question, like I'm sorry, I can't remember what we said her name was. You said your son's 12 and you maintain that relationship with the lady you sold the house to, Emily. I'm sorry,
Yep,
Emily.
Yep. Oh, it's okay.
So how
do you not know me
did
yet,
you-
Audrey? Come on. No.
I know, I'm bad. I'll say your name 10 times. I'll
I
still
am
forget
just
it
kidding.
until I see you face to face. But no, how did you because being brand new, and I am an open book. I do talk a lot. Sorry about that, but I'm just trying to figure out how you maintain that relationship. You do just text them every little bit and say, hey, how's it going? How's the house? What do you talk about? Do you go get coffee? Because I'm with a Turkish family, my husband's Turkish, my kids half Turkish. So it's well, I'll go get coffee and hang out at Dunkin' Donuts for a little while, So I'm
With
is
Harlan,
that
he
a way
just-
I can, I'm sorry, go ahead.
With Harlan, he checked in on us when we first bought the house often. If we had any questions being first-time homeowners, you just you don't know it all. So he was there to just help us and guide us and gave us some really good information and help along the way. And then it's that, you open up your mailbox, right? And what do you get in the mail? You either get bills, which no one loves, hopefully an invitation to something, which you don't really randomly get, or then you get these little, flyers or junk mail stuff too. But then you get things from Harlan that are things like hey, thinking about you guys, happy St. Patrick's Day, happy birthday. Here's a lotto ticket, just those little things that are so consistent every so often that makes you feel like, and because he's doing it, that he's still thinking about you.
Oh, that's really good.
He's got you
Sorry,
in
I
his
was
database.
just looking
He's,
for some ideas.
Yeah, and that was just cards along the way. He was doing, I don't know if he does it anymore, but he had a little flyer that would go out about your neighborhood or things that were going on in the area, like summer activities, whether it's an event or a fair or little things like that. So he just kept, for me, it was just that constant hey, here's, I'm still here if you need anything. Hope you're doing well. Happy birthday, Merry Christmas, Happy Thanksgiving. Those little things that not everybody does anymore.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Well, thank you.
Yes. Well, and I will throw in there that Harlan hasn't always been a Keller Williams agent. He was with Remap probably when you worked with him, right? He joined us
just recently, right?
Yeah, it's been in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
But he's continuing on doing the same things because so Keller Williams, is great, but in the end, people are going to work with you because of you, right? They're not going to work with you because of the company that you're associated with. They're going to work with you because of you. And so at Keller Williams, our goal is to give you the help to become the best that you can, to help you, to give you the tools to work with, to make sure that you know how to deal fairly and honestly and et cetera with everybody so that you're the best that you can be. Okay, so this is something so you don't fear your sphere. Practicing the Ford method. And
Different acronym for Ford.
Yeah. So family, occupation, recreation. Oh, it is in your participant guide. So page 10, this is the Ford script. And so this is basically structured to make it easy for you to make calls to people, because it's basically about caring for people, right? So if you look at it, you look at your page 10, it starts, hello, this is the, how have you been? The options. How's the family? Are you still working at this occupation? Are you still enjoying something? Did you ever pursue, that particular dream? So you start out the call with something about them, a caring, nurturing type of thing, asking questions and, things like, how's the family, school is starting up, what's Johnny's school doing for classes? And for now, it could be, okay, how are your kids doing? I know a lot of schools have had distance learning. Some have had hybrid. Now this week, Fairport's opening up, I think, to full day classes and stuff. So you could ask things like that. Are you still working at, this job, like say at Paychecks? And, are you working from home or are you working from the office? Are you still, enjoying some recreation things? So now that the gyms are open, are you going back? Are you, and did you ever pursue that dream? Now that we're opening up again, are you going to be able to go to Italy? I know you always wanted to go there, and visit some of the wineries and Venice and things. So you could use those to, start your call. And then you can go into, you need to let them know that you're a real estate agent. So I'm calling to share that I'm now a real estate agent with Keller Williams Realty. I thought of you because I knew you would be someone to help me grow my business, especially since you know my track record and commitment to doing the very best. So remind them that, they know you, that they know how committed you are to doing things well. So then the next paragraph, I'd like to share my free real estate app with you. Do you guys all know that's the consumer mobile app where they can search, save searches, etc. It's so easy to check what's for sale, what's the price on your street, in your neighborhood, any place in the US and Canada. I can send you a text with a link. Does that sound good? So you don't have to do all of this, nor do you have to do everything word for word. You want to make sure that you sound comfortable and there's someone you're going to want to talk to. I'd like also to offer a real estate update on your neighborhood. So I talked about the monthly neighborhood nurture. So in order to do that, you need to know what their address is. So this gives, you can talk with them about what that is. One, you want to make sure that you understand and know what it does. And I know when you guys come in to meet with me, that's one of the things we do is, we get you into your database. We start with your mobile app, get you into that as your personal person. And then you'll see that your contact record is going to go into your command, get your address in there, and voila, you've now got the person's neighborhood. And you can set them up then on a monthly neighborhood nurture or a bi-weekly neighborhood nurture if it's something that they might want to see more often. So the idea with that is that everyone wants to know about their neighborhood, what's going on in their neighborhood. So even if they're not looking to buy or sell right now, that's a nice little tool to help you stay top of mind because your name's on it. And they can search and look and see what's going on. So that's what that next section is. You can also add additional neighborhoods you can be interested in. So some of these you want to make sure that you're comfortable with what it is that you're talking about so that you know and you can explain it to them. So then I'm building my business on people I know and people they know. Do you know of anyone from work, your neighborhood, or group you belong to who's thinking of buying, selling a home, or investing in real estate? I'd be pleased to be a resource for them. And then it goes into, if a referral is given, would you mind sharing their name and phone number or email so you can contact them? Thanks for taking a moment to think about it. Please keep me in mind for all real estate needs. And then there's optional, do you have time to eat coffee soon? As Audrey said, hey, love to get coffee. How about, and you can, yes, there she goes. How about, this day and time or another time? So rather than just leaving it open, suggest a couple of days and times, which one's better? Thanks. And I look forward to seeing you. What do you guys think about that script? Does it sound like something you could do?
Easily.
Definitely.
Fine.
100%.
Yeah.
It's kind of just like talking to a friend. It's literally the same thing.
How effective would you say, like, for example, like I know a lot of my sphere is younger. So I know a lot of my friends and stuff, they're on social media. Would you do this as a phone call only, or could you do like text and social media, like DMs as well?
I would do all of the above.
Okay.
There's no reason, not to do multiple contacts. So one of the things, I pretty much always go to one of the smart plans that is in command. And a couple of you haven't met with me yet. So, but you will know what I'm talking about. There's a smart plan that an agent had shared that it's a new agent smart plan. And that does, first it sends an email and then it waits a couple days and then it sends a text. And then it waits a couple days and then it gives a reminder for you to call them. And then the very end of it is it puts them on the quarterly call plan. So it gives you a reminder every 90 days. So I'm going to say all of the above are good ideas.
Awesome.
I was gonna ask, do you, through your market center, do you know if there's a lot of agents that use TikTok? Like, is that a thing? I know I've seen, like, I go on TikTok all the time.
There's so many real estate agents on TikTok. It's crazy.
Yeah, tons of agents. I've never seen any agents like from our area per se, but I'll see them in like from different states, and I'm just like, that's like a great, a great social media app to use because so many people use it. But do you know of any agents that actually are using that right now?
So actually, yes. I coordinated all of the ignites back in the November, December timeframe. And one of the agents from the Gateway Market Center, Mary St. George, did it. And I'm not quite sure if she is teaching this time or not. I don't have the list of people, but yes, she uses TikTok.
Okay, sweet.
And I'm going to say, okay, she's not young. She's not quite as old as I am, but yeah, so she's along the way, you're going to get to talk with so many different agents that are teaching this class. You're going to learn all kinds of stuff and what different people use for marketing. Can you join us for this afternoon for that? Let's talk about marketing.
At 1, it's at 1, right? I literally just saw the email from Jeremy. I think I'm going to, yeah. I'll be
Okay,
home
good.
all day today, so.
Oh, good. Yeah, so that, so Rebecca Schoenig, actually threw out this, she said, hey, I'd like to hear, what people are doing, for their marketing. And she's trying a few different things, but she wanted to kind of test it out. So that's what this is. It's like Becky doesn't necessarily know exactly everything. She's trying to figure things out. So I think that would be a good thing, to ask people.
Right.
Yeah, so come on. I mean, it's great. I mean, I think we're going to have all kinds of experience levels of people, and hopefully it'll be a good turnout and just a good discussion of different things that you can do. So I myself have never used TikTok, but I'm going to say it's not going to hurt.
I spend
yes.
Anywhere up
Me neither.
like 4 to 10 hours a day on TikTok.
Do you really?
Yeah, I was addicted to
yeah,
it like that for a
I feel
while, but
that.
then I got away from it because it's all the same stuff. Like you're just watching the same. It's like Instagram. It's the same thing repeated over and over and over again. Everybody doing the same thing that's in now.
Yeah.
So I will go back and look, and I know I can still get access to that recording if Mary's not the one doing that section, and I'll get it out there.
Sweet. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, it's kind of like you customize what you're doing based upon your audience. There's some people that are going to respond only to text. There's some people that are watching social media like you. They're addicted to TikTok. So, there's no bad method. Just don't do anything bad. So do you guys have any fears or hesitations about calling your sphere? People you have in your database?
Absolutely.
Absolutely?
Absolutely. I feel like my biggest thing is fear of like judgment, I guess. Like, why are you? Because, a lot of my sphere are dancers and artists, and that's where I was like heavily involved. So I feel like, my biggest fear is like, but you're a dancer. Why are you talking to me about trying to rent an apartment?
Because you know what? You're going to end up selling them a house or a studio so that way you all can go dance in it.
And I don't know what's wrong with my video. It's not working right now, but the one thing that I've learned, like when I was in sales, I had to do a lot of cold calling and whatnot. And I used to be really scared of that all the time, but I've come to the realization, like they really, on their end, they're either going to give you a yes or no answer to that. It's not going to be something where they're going to completely judge you for it. It's your job. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing. So don't think about what their opinion is at that moment,
That's Emily talking, right?
No, this is Laura talking. I don't know what's going on.
Talking. Okay, sorry.
My video, it's not working.
But to go off of what you said too is, like I said, I was in collections, so majority of how we had to work was calling people that have defaulted student loans, 10, 20, 30, 40 plus $1,000 of debt, finding their employers, calling them at work, which is one of the hardest things to do. I thought it was going to be so hard for me. And 2 months in, I'm calling them. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get your money. You know what I mean? It really is something that it is at first, hard to overcome. Like maybe your fear of, talking to them and being rejected. I've been hung up on before. I've, been harassed before too. They'll call back and harass you, but you kind of just get used to it, and then it just becomes, second nature.
You need to remember too, if they're in your sphere, they know you.
Right.
You
And
know,
that's the other
they
thing. It's
know,
not like
you
we're
know,
just reaching out to people like randomly who have no idea who we
Right.
are. It's gonna be,
right, they know
on.
you, they know your situation, you know, I'm a ballroom dance instructor part-time, and so I was down and out for a very long time, right? And, you
Yeah.
know, not going back the way that I was before, there's no way. And so, but my people who know that I've got into this, or people that are in my sphere, my friends, they're excited for me. You know, they want to see us succeed. They want to help us. They want to be there for us. And even if they don't need anything right now, they know what you're doing now. They're gonna need you down the road somewhere, and they should be excited for you. And if they're not, then get them out of your sphere.
Exactly.
If they're mean, kick them out.
Just dump them.
Dump them. They're not worth it. I think the biggest fear is just the fear of rejection, or the fear of the word no.
Yeah.
You're gonna get no's. We all get no's.
You get over it pretty
It's gonna
quickly.
happen. You get over it. You move on. You know,
You
because
know
with
what we
one
say in
no can come
Turkish to
3
that?
yeses.
What?
In Turkish, there's a saying. It says "yapacak bir şey yok." Nothing you can do about it. Move on. My favorite
I like
saying
it.
I've picked up.
Yep. So, I'm going to do this. So it actually suggests that, dividing the class into pairs, practice using the forward script with your partner. You guys want to do that? Would you like to do, maybe one of you take one side, one of you be the person that they're calling, and we just test it out?
Sure.
Okay, who wants to be the agent? I'm going to say Shamar, you get to do it.
Okay.
I'll be your
Okay.
customer.
Let me get back to the thing, just so I have.
I was gonna say, what page are we on again? So I have the right script up.
It's on
10.
page 10 in your participant guide.
My
All
page
right.
10 says social media.
Are you on the Spark one?
I have my Spark script book.
Oh, okay. So I'm looking at the participant guide. I've got the script book here. It is page 4.
Say that again. I couldn't hear that.
Page 4 in the script book.
Okay.
Page 4 if you have the
Regeneration
script
script.
book. Page 10 if you have the participant guide.
Gotcha.
Okay, you ready?
The one that says the lead generation scripts.
That's what mine says, Kaylee.
Okay, perfect.
Lead generation script.
I'm ready.
Okay, you need to do this and go ring, ring.
Yeah, ring, ring. Am I doing it with you or somebody else?
With Audrey.
Okay. All
Audrey
right.
gets to be your victim.
Perfect. All right. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hello. This is Shamar. How have you been?
I've been great. How are you?
I'm doing great. How's the family been?
Very crazy, but very good.
That's great. I'm just basically calling you today just to let you know, I am a new agent with Keller Williams Realty. I basically, thought about you because I do know that you are potentially looking to purchase a home. And I thought I'd reach out to you just to touch base.
All right. Well, that's very nice of you.
Do you know if you were planning on purchasing a home and time frame wise, what the plan was with the family?
You know what? You actually called me at a great time. I'm looking at within a month trying to get a new home.
Perfect. That sounds good. Do you know, like size wise, what you're looking at? Bedrooms, bathrooms?
Yeah, like 3-bed, 2-bath on about an acre of land.
Okay, perfect. When would be a good time where we could meet in the office and I could potentially pull up some houses for you to look at?
Let me check my schedule over here. How about Tuesday at 4? Are you available then?
Tuesday at 4, that works for me.
All right.
Give the address to the to the office.
All right, I'll meet you there. Thank you.
Perfect. Sounds good. Have a great day.
You too.
That was okay.
Yeah, you did good. So one of the things that is recommended that you find a script buddy,
Okay.
that you practice the scripts. And if you guys would like to do something like that, why don't you open up the chat and put your name and your phone number and email address in there.
Personal or
And
business? So personal or business?
either one works just fine. And
right.
then I can share that list with you guys, so I can pull the chat from the recording and send it out to you guys. And you can, you can even do a group if you wanted to. Call each other, practice scripts until you feel comfortable, until you don't sound like you're doing a script anymore.
Till I can get through it without laughing.
Uh-huh. Yep. Yeah, because the more you practice, the more you're going to sound genuine. I know that sounds kind of funny, right? And scripts are, if nothing else, they're a great learning tool. They're there to help you figure out how to deal with different situations. If you go through, all of the different scripts that are in the toolkits, and there are, those are some of the things that Jared in his 8 o'clock also goes through scripts, and he's got some that are, some of his favorite ones. And they're just kind of there to help you learn how to respond to situations, because you're going to get some people. I think one of his classes is objection handlers, and so, some people are going to, not necessarily the ones you know and love, but other people might object to something that you're suggesting. And it's good to know, how can you respond to that and keep the conversation going. And you don't have to go through scripts word for word. I mean, Shamar didn't. And you can kind of tell, how much should you talk, how much should you talk, how many things should you ask? He just went in for it. Say, hey, do you need to buy a house? Sure. But okay, so let's go on to the next page. Okay, knowing the tools.
Getting an internet connection bad, so give me a second.
No. Okay, so the second part, this next section is about the tools. And we have command. And so a few of these are pieces that you care about. You don't really care about this virtual market center. That's a piece that we that work for the office work with. So you have your command, which has lots of functionality available for you. And then there's the virtual consumer. So you have the KW app and you have your website. Both of those will let people search, find properties, get in touch with you. And they have your name on them and your picture on them. So, you know, that's one way if you get people using your website rather than somebody else's website, some other company's website. You know, learn what it does so that you can tell people, hey, this is really, really great. And then we've got Kelly. Kelly here, they define Kelly as the artificial intelligence. Kelly is also an app that runs on your phone that I call command in your hand. So you can get in access to your contacts directly on your phone. Then we have the Keller Cloud. That's where data is stored. Oh, look, Emily, your face is back.
Yeah,
And
sorry.
that's okay.
I'm always here. I'm trying to pull up. I don't have a book or anything, so I'm trying to download and print out some of the pages, these little, the Spark script book, stuff like that. So all of a sudden I'm like, wait, what page is that? And I'm like, wait, do I have the wrong one? So I'm trying to get it.
Yeah, and I've got a book here that has a bunch of stuff in it. And when I go to another part, then I lose where I was.
Are there actual books? Like, will I get one, or did I get one? I don't know about it.
There, all of your materials are online.
Okay.
Okay. So, and I'm going to stop the share at the moment.
Is it at the KW Connect?
Yeah, actually, you can get them at KW Connect. I'm gonna go into my command for a second. So there's a bunch of places where you can get them. The link that I gave you guys to start with is in a folder that I keep up called In the Know. And there's class materials here. And if you go back to the chat, so I gave you a link.
Chat.
Oh yeah, you're not gonna, okay. So you should be along the bottom of your screen, there should be a chat section. And you can open up something that looks like this.
Where do I see that?
Here, let me
UPS
go.
sharing? USP sharing?
Hmm?
Is it the USP sharing? No.
No. But here, let me, so if you go into your command, you can go to connect.
Do you want me to do command login?
You can if you'd like, yeah. And okay, resources training. I'm just gonna go put in Ignite. I'm gonna say this is the first time I've gone in this way. Come on.
I don't have any of those tool things at the top of the screen.
Okay. It's normally at the, okay, on what? On your what?
Command training?
Connect.
No. Okay. So if you go into your command, click on the connect button.
Okay.
Okay. as it's going slowly. And then go over here, kwconnect.com.
Okay.
Okay. So the easiest way, honestly, to find stuff is hit the search magnifying glass and then put in Ignite 2.0 and hit search.
Okay. So there's the
Okay.
Ignite 2.0 lab and then Ignite
Yes.
train the trainer.
Yeah, go to the Ignite 2.0 lab and course materials.
Participation resources.
Chris, this is Laura. I just wanted to let you know that I have to hop off to get to my appointment.
Okay.
All right, sorry. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So there's then the participant resources. That's what you're going to be looking for.
Okay. And I can download the Ignite toolkit.
Yep. So here's the Ignite toolkit, and then here's each of the participant guides for you. Have you guys all registered for the classes?
For the one starting tomorrow, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yep.
Was that
I
Google
haven't.
Docs form that we had to fill out?
Yeah, it was a Google form. Yep.
Okay, yeah, I did that.
Oh,
And
I
you
don't
got
know
an
that I have
email?
that.
Okay. Should have been in your calendar.
Yeah, I just clicked the link right through what Jeremy sent me.
Yeah. So Emily, I will send you the link. This is Connect is where they're telling you to go to get the resources for it. Okay, so send. Okay.
So I've got my thing for Jeremy, from Jeremy, however you say his last name.
Mm-hmm.
Is that who I'm looking?
That's one way to get them.
No.
So it's going to look like this, the virtual calendar.
Yep.
Okay. So click here on it to register for Ignite.
Done.
Right there. And what you're going to go to is to a, oh, I've already responded. I went and registered too.
Let me register.
Yeah. So once you register, you will receive an email with the rest of the information that you need, including the Zoom link that you're going to be using for the regional classes.
Okay, so yeah, I got that then. Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
I did do that.
Okay, good. And I'm pretty sure that so it's Chris Wing is the name of the person that's
Yes.
coordinating it. And yeah, so I'm pretty sure that he tells you to come into Connect to get your documents. So you can just download them all from there.
Can you go over how to get to In the Know again?
It is bit.ly/capital IN lowercase THE capital K lowercase n lowercase o capital W. Got it?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. And so that's a Google Drive folder that I keep up with lots of information for you guys. And I also have all of the participant guides in there, and I have the Ignite toolkit in there. So you can get to that information a lot of different ways. Okay, so everybody's good. They're all registered for tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to the very basics on my command. And so this is the basic tool that we have for you, and there's lots of capabilities here. There's contacts. That's where you're going to be keeping your people. Tasks, this is where you're going to get the notification if you set up the quarterly call plan. You will get a reminder to call the person in your tasks. Smart plans, these are where the touches are for your people. They can be calls, they can be texts, they can be emails, they can be reminders for calls, reminders to do something else. Referrals will help you find agents in other locations. Opportunities, this is where you can track your sales pipeline and also where you're turning in your paperwork. Campaigns, this is where you can set up and say marketing campaign, an email, a direct mail campaign. So sending out postcards, etc., or any of your Facebook things. Reports are talking about the system and how many people are on your system, totally being added to as we go along. Designs is where you can make lots of pretty things, including listing and buyer presentations, social media posts for, say, Facebook, business cards. Yes, business cards. I made one for Audrey and we turned it purple, and then she said, "Oh, I like that." And the next day she came back, she'd already had them printed. And about 200,000 of them, I think. So
no,
designs,
just 1,000.
Designs let you do lots of things. So command is basically your command center for running your business. And there's tons and tons and tons of classes that we've done. So do you guys know also about where our YouTube channel is and how you can get there? It's another bit.ly, and it's capital KW ROC CLASSTOC. And so this is where our recorded classes are, including the older Ignites. So it's sectioned in, here's command. So all of these different things I showed you in command, go into that and we've got a class for it. Here's one about a direct mail campaign. Here's for teams, you don't need that one. Here's your website. Here's just an overview. That's a good place to start. Lead generation, using designs and campaigns. Here's the new agent must. So buyer and seller series, the foundations, agency and ad regulations. And then here's the ignites from last time. So you can go back, and a lot of you have already gone and checked those out. Various tools, coffee with a capper. Thursday morning, your Thursday mornings are busy for the next while. But you can always go back and listen to different people. It's an informal interview. New Agent Mastermind. This is something that Jeffrey Lamica from the Brighton Market Center runs once a month. It's from 6 to 7 on a Wednesday night. I think it's the 28th. But so we put those out there so you can go back through and watch them. So pretty much all of the classes that we're doing, since we're doing them on Zoom, we can also capture them here.
So Chris, if for whatever reason, like I work on Tuesday mornings, so I can come back in here after I get done with work and I can go through the session that you're going to do tomorrow.
No, actually not. So here, let me tell you about the Ignite. So 3 of the ignites are done quote unquote locally. Those will be in those recorded classes. The classes that are regional, you'll be able to get to those through a link that you would have gotten from Chris Wing.
Okay.
And then only after the entire session of Ignite is done will I upload them, because you guys are supposed to be registering for it.
Right.
So I want you to register it and get, stay within that kind of microcosm during the time that Ignite's going on.
Okay.
So has anyone gotten that link yet, or will he send that out like later today or tomorrow?
You haven't seen it?
I've registered, and when I went back into it, it said I was registered. I just haven't gotten like anything from him, I guess.
Okay. I did. Now I have to go back and find it. Right here. You didn't get that?
No, I have not.
Yeah, I didn't get that either.
Really? And you guys are all registered?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I have it. I got it on April 16th.
Okay.
I have it as well.
Okay, so hang on.
I even type in his name and it says no matches.
Yeah, same here.
He could have sent it to your, if you didn't have your Keller Williams email, I feel like he could have sent it to your personal email too.
Yeah, I checked both, but I didn't have anything from him in either.
Yeah, I'm checking both right now too.
Okay, Kaylee.
Chris, can you send me one too?
Okay, what's your email?
TARICAWKW.
Okay, anybody else need it?
Would I need
I
it
need
even
it.
though I'm in the New York City office?
I don't know. Are you going to?
Because they're not, I'm looking at my training calendar now and I don't see Spark on here, but they're offering elementals. So I don't know if I do Spark with you guys and then elementals with them.
So it sounds like they're on a different schedule.
Mm-hmm.
So, it would since you're in the New York City market, it would probably be best if you were on with the people from there.
Right.
And, I can't tell you exactly how they're running it.
Yeah. Okay, I'll just email. I'll email them now.
Okay.
And find that out.
I
Yeah,
need it.
since the practices are a lot different.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else need it?
Me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kristen,
And you guys all registered?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got mine back on the 16th as well.
Okay. Okay. So you now have an email from me.
Thank you.
Okay. So
Who's the email supposed to come from again?
it would have come from a gentleman named Christopher Wing.
I'm not saying.
There we go. I got it now.
And so I forwarded you the one that you've already, that I got.
And these are all on Zoom too, right?
They are all Zoom. Yep. Yep. So it's a different link. for them, and it's a regional one. So it's going to be with agents from around upstate New York, Binghamton, Albany, Syracuse, Buffalo, Rochester, the Rochester area, Southern Tier, Oneonta. I may have gotten them all. But so across our whole region. So you may have some of the instructors might be from Rochester, and a lot of them will be from other market centers. So the nice thing is you're going to be meeting people, a lot of different people that you wouldn't necessarily see on a day-by-day basis.
So all those people that are teaching the classes, will they send us that link?
So
Or is
Chris
that just the
Wayne,
one link that we need?
it's just the one.
Okay,
So
perfect.
yeah, so it's the same link for all of the Zoom classes.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then for the local ones, it's actually the same link that we use for today.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yep.
I know the first couple, it's like everybody's always a little bit confused. And I can understand why. Okay, so let me get back on track. So I want to finish up by noon. Oh, and wow. Okay, tools you need. Okay, so command, I just took you into command. Again, there's a lot there. If you don't know what these icons are, click on that KW like I did, and it'll open it up and it'll show you what the different pieces are. And there's tons and tons and tons of training, both through Connect that we went to, classes that we've done locally. There's so much training available for you. Database. So start with your sphere. We've talked about that over and over and over and over again, right? So one of the things you're going to want to do is put your contacts into command. That database is going to produce leads over and above, the people that you initially put into it. Command is a tool that's going to help you nurture and manage your relationship. You can track and schedule every interaction. So for Emily, she got birthday cards from Harlan. Well, you can put a person's birthday in here and set it up so you can get a reminder like a week or so ahead of time to send Emily a birthday card, or a Christmas card. You can put people in here and tag them and say that you want to. So tagging is a way of grouping people that you want to send Christmas cards to this set of people, and easily downloading and create mailing labels for them. One of the things, I got this from an agent, he's Keller Williams, somewhere in the Southern Tier. Rather than doing Christmas cards, doing Thanksgiving cards. And I really like that idea. One, because it's Thanksgiving, you're giving thanks. So, doing Thanksgiving cards, and then they are done before you get into the, sending out Christmas cards to, everybody else. So I thought that was kind of a cool idea, and I've been doing it every year since then. So the Ignite toolkit that you have a link to, and we went into it in command. So there's a resources job aid, there's script books, there's a buyer lead sheet, there's 411, there's a plan your day checklist, previewing homes job aids, pre-listing questionnaire, pre-listing packet, open house tools. So lots and lots and lots of things that will be useful for you in your business. And in the know folder that I keep I've put it in spots so that seasoned agents can use it too, because I think there's a lot of resources there that work for anybody, not just new agents. So prepare for success. So these are the modules, the Spark modules that you're going to have. So today was fuel your career. Next one is lead generation is the core of your business. Next one, powerful language gets results. Next, your database is your business. Next one is setting goals. Then delivering your value proposition. That one's really, really interesting because it's kind of diving deep into yourself. You know, what is your value proposition? Why would somebody want to work with you? And figuring out what that is and what you want to put front and center when you talk with somebody, you know, that you can go back on and say, this is why I'm going to be good working with them. Finding and winning the buyer, find seller leads, a day in the life of a real estate agent. And then there's the market center specific module at the end of that. And like I said, that's usually Karen Hilbert. And she typically goes over contract to closing scenarios. And then you've got the elementals. So with Spark, the goal is for you to get an appointment. And then you go into prospecting, marketing, open houses, seller appointments, buyer consultation, make and receive offers, negotiate the deal, financial basics, because you are now your own business, right? Contract close, and then market center specific module where you'll be back with me again. And I mentioned it earlier that we'll be talking about GRAR tools that you can use and that are going to help you with your business. Some of the things that I wish I knew when I was young, yeah, like that happens, when I was a new agent. Okay, so here's habits that you need to start. Grow and manage your database. So you want to add 10 new contacts to your database every day. Prospecting, speak with 10 people in your database. So pick those 10 people that you want to call, add them into your command database. So you can grow your database in command bit by bit. You probably already have them in your phone. Now get them into command. Follow up. They suggest writing 10 notes to people you've recently contacted. You could also follow up with a text or whatever's going to work the best for that person. Knowing your market, previewing 10 homes per week. So it's a little harder to do this right now, but you can definitely do this. And previewing 10 homes per week is going to help you do, and okay, maybe you won't do 10, but previewing homes, perhaps by yourself. Before you try taking a buyer in, make an appointment for yourself. You're going to learn how to use that super key that is going to open the electronic lock boxes, so that, you know, the first time you do it with a potential buyer, you're not going to fumble. One of the sections I watched on, you know, how to teach this. So it's one of, it's Jason Abrams from Keller Williams. And he said the first house he ever showed, he lost the key. So, you know, he said, okay, learn what are you going to do with the key so you don't lose the key when you go in. And some of the things you can do is learn, how am I going to show a house? You know, how am I going to work with these people? You can also look at some of the architectural features in different housing. You know, what's a coffered ceiling? You know, what is crown molding? Learn about, you know, different hardwoods. Here in Rochester, we have something called Rochester flooring. Actually, everything I'm talking about are things that are in older houses, which is one of the things I live in. I have coffered ceilings in my dining room. Pretty much everybody in my neighborhood does. And the hardwood, the Rochester flooring is little tiny strips of hardwood that's harder than heck, and it's surface nailed. That's pretty, they call it Rochester flooring. So I believe it started in Rochester, and you're going to find that in a lot of the older houses. So learn about some of the different architectural features, look at listings, and if something looks interesting, see if you can make yourself an appointment to go and look at it. Any questions on those?
I have a question. Well, I have a question, I guess. Can you mentor people? Can you follow people? Can you go with an agent into a house and listen to them?
Sure. So one of the things we have is we have our private Facebook groups.
Yep.
So here in Brighton, we have the Launch Partner Program, which a mentor is assigned. In Gateway, I know you guys do it a little bit differently. So you have mentors, I think,
I have a
assigned to you.
transaction agent.
Okay. But go
if that's the
into
same
the
thing, but-
Facebook group and see if there's someone that wouldn't mind taking you along.
Yeah, because I learned that way, but it'd be interesting. I'm going to walk into a house and have no idea what anything is either.
Yeah.
So to have somebody who knows it would be great. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, that's one of the things here at Keller Williams. People are so willing to share and to help other people out. And in some cases, you need to learn how to use some of those tools. So a lot of times agents are looking for people to help them show houses. It's like, hey, I've got an appointment for this time. I can't get there. Can you do it? And oftentimes the agents will pay you to do so. So that's a good experience also.
I was gonna say something too. So I actually saw, so in the private Facebook group, I'll see like a bunch of like agents that'll post. How would say for example, I wanted to, they'll post and be like, oh, I need an agent to show this house, blah 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 blah. How would we respond to that if we're literally brand new? Do you think they're gonna not? You know what I mean?
You know how I responded yesterday? So one of the girls actually posted it yesterday. I'll show it to you. So I got on there and I was like, you know what? Let me just go out on a limb and try and see if I can show this house. And I was going to have her on the phone where she was going to kind of walk me through on how to do it. And this is how our conversation went. So she made this post, available to do a showing at 3:30, anybody available? And I was like, I'd love to. I'm new. I would love to just try and start helping people. I would just call you on trying to figure out what to say or do. And she goes, do you have your super key? I was like, I don't. So I called Chris yesterday. We tried to figure it out. We couldn't get it done because they weren't open. They called me at 8:00 this morning and I got it all figured out, got my access code, got everything logged in, all done. And then she goes, if you have any questions or would like to chat, my phone's open. And then we started texting yesterday and she was really sweet, really nice. And she goes, I'd love to keep you in mind for another property. So
who was that, Audrey?
It's Nicole Manny.
Okay. Yeah. Nicole Meany. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I butchered her name, didn't I?
Oh, that's okay.
She was really nice. She sent me a voice message and we just kind of talked and we were talking about how we were going to get together sometime. So.
Yeah. So some of the things.
I don't know, just throw your name out there.
Right. So some of the things when I show a house, one of the things I do is I always print out. So I go into Matrix and I print out for myself copy of the Realtor full. So you have a bunch of different views that you can get. So for myself, I print out the Realtor full. For the person that I'm showing, I print out the client full so that they've got a page. Some of the things that I do before I meet them, I always look up the tax records and make sure that the taxes in there are correct. I look at RPR, Kristen was talking about RPR. RPR or Realist, either one, will give you an idea of what those systems believe the house is worth. And I'll write that on mine. So these are things that I'll write for myself. I look at the property condition disclosure and look to see if there's how old is the roof. That's the biggest thing that's usually there, or if there's any issues with the house. And I'll go into history to see if the house had been sold relatively recently, you know, and say, hey, it was sold, you know, on 5 years ago, and this is what they got for it. And sometimes if the property condition disclosure for the listing doesn't have the information I'm looking for, I'll go and look at the old one, because sometimes people don't know, but it'll be found in the older one that's online. So those are some of the things that I do up front before I even get there. Once I'm plugging in my light, sorry. Once I'm at the property, one of the things that I do is I go around and I look to see what they're offering for personal property for appliances and things. And I will go around and get for the refrigerator, the stove, the exact details. So what's the brand? What's the color? You know, is it a gas range? Is it an electric range? Things like that. And I write that on my copy, because if we're going to write an offer, I want to put absolute details into the personal property section, so say if there was a nice stainless refrigerator there and you said, all you said was refrigerator, and you know, you get to closing and there's this white little tiny refrigerator there and all you wrote in was refrigerator, you know, it might be a little bit of an issue. So I always try to make sure that for personal property that I have any of the details, and then I'll write you know, any notes and things like that on my copy, and I'll give the client full to the buyers. And if the taxes are incorrect or anything, I will cross those out on theirs. So those are some of the things that I do up front to get ready for showing. And you know, so you want to give your people as much information as they can, and you want to make sure that you get as many details as you can in case they decide that they do want to write an offer. Does that help?
Chris, do you walk around with them or do you let them go themselves?
I usually walk around with them. I try not to be judgmental on the house. You know, just to point out facts and things like that. You know, and if they say, well, what do you think? If it's something where it makes sense for me to throw in what I think, you know, that's okay. But it's also, yeah, I will go around with them because I want to see what their reactions are.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times people, they might not even realize what they're thinking, and maybe it's a discussion afterwards and you can ask them some questions about it. But yes, I walk around with them.
Chris, where do you get the RPR?
It is also on GRER. Okay, so actually, here, let me stop sharing what I'm sharing. I'll show you the easy way to do it. Okay. Okay. Okay, let me go log in. Okay, say if I'm on Matrix and I'm just gonna pick any listing. So I'm just gonna go to our office listings. So here, I'll pick this one on Chimney Hill Road. So right here, this little icon here is going to take me to RPR, Realtors Property Resource.
Chris, we can't see your screen.
Oh, that's because I didn't share it.
Thank you.
Okay, so now let me go back. Okay, so I just picked a listing, any listing, I didn't care. So right next to the paperclip that shows the attachments is this little thingy here. And if you hover over it, it's Realtors Property Resource. Click on that. And it just pops you over there. So here's a summary. It's going to have the same photos and things like that that are on the listing. And here it's going to, in most cases, give you an estimate of what it believes the value is. So you can click here, RVM, estimated values generated by an automated valuation tools that uses on-market and off-market data. And here it's going to give you the confidence level. So this one says it's 100% confident. So list price is 174.9. This is what RPR believes that it's worth. So I'll always write that in. And what I've been finding lately is that a good portion of the houses are listed for very much what RPR says. Now, what people are going to offer in today's crazy market, it's probably going to be over that if the house is good. But you know, I can say, you know, I think the house is pretty fairly priced. So that just gives me an idea of
how do you find like comps in the area? Like if like my mom's friend who wants to sell her house. Now, how do I figure out if it's how to price it compared to, you know, things that are semi in the area that's been close to what the house is now? Like,
so actually RPR can help you with that too.
Awesome.
You click over here, there's CMA, so that is to comparative market analysis.
Awesome.
So it lets you confirm the facts, search for comps. If you go to the seller series that's in the recorded classes, Anthony Butera uses RPR. And you can see that. And I think I probably also did it on the last Ignite last time as I was going through tools. So you can see how that works. There's lots of different ways to do that analysis. You can do it through Matrix. I decided I kind of like RPR. But yeah, so those are some of the other classes where you can get tools for that. Okay.
Holy cow. I clicked on
Holy
a
cow?
random house and I clicked on a random house and the price of it. And then I'm looking at the rooms, it's 17 rooms total. I'm like, holy.
Wow.
Wouldn't
it be nice if you could sell that one?
West Lake Street.
Okay.
That's for sure.
Is it on one of the lakes?
Yeah, it says 103 West Lake Street. Onondaga County, and I have no idea how to say what town that is.
Skinny
Scan-
Atlas.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. So RPR has properties from all over the country.
$7,500,000.
Yeah, it's actually owned by the National Association of Realtors. And it has both things that are listed and things that are not listed. So it's kind of a cool tool. You can find things pretty much anywhere. Okay, so we have 5 minutes left. So I'm going to kind of run through the very final bits of these. We've had really great discussions. This has been great. You guys have been very engaged and
Chris,
interested.
Sorry. When you first started talking about the forms that you get from Matrix, you listed 2 at the very beginning, and I missed what they were called.
Oh, okay. So here, let me. So, okay, so when I'm in Matrix, I go down to the bottom. Oops, actually, I'm in the wrong spot. So. Okay, so this is what you're seeing. So you're going to have history, lots of things here. So your actions down at the bottom, see this? And then print. You're going to have a whole bunch of different options for print, what you can print out. I use Realtor Full for me, and I use Client Full for the buyer. Client Full is usually a 1-page, Realtor Full is usually about a page and a half. And Realtor Full is going to have your private remarks and all of that kind of stuff on it.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Okay, so make the most of Spark. Divide the rest of your day between grow your business and run your business, and come to the marketing mastermind at 1 o'clock. And then do the rest of your business. Okay, recap and ahas. We've been kind of doing this all along the way. How has your thinking changed? What ideas or mindsets are new?
I think for me, just being creative with how you do everything.
Mm-hmm. There's no one right way for everybody. You know, you guys each have your own personalities. You have, your set of people that, you love. And for Shamar, okay, so he's going to go do TikToks. I am not going to do a TikTok. But it all depends. And it's the, build the relationship, them, use the tools that you have to build and nurture, and they're not necessarily all tools that we provide. Okay, what do you feel differently about? What was meaningful to you today?
How engaging the whole thing was.
Okay.
I really liked it.
Oh, good. How will your behaviors be different going forward? What actions are you going to take going forward?
I'm thinking about all my sphere.
Okay, yeah. You have a lot of people that you know, right?
Right. So it's I feel like it's taken away from, like, okay, so just take them and use them. Like, that's what they're there for. That's what we're all here for, right? They use us, we should use them too, yeah.
Yep. And you know what? They're going to be happy to be used. If you've made them happy in the past, they're going to be very, very comfortable with sharing your name and helping you get started. And so another thing, when you're talking with someone, okay, so for those people that know you, okay, yes, you just started a career in real estate, you can do that. But otherwise, you don't have to tell someone that you're new. Um, you know, yes, you're learning things. You don't know everything, but you will never know everything. It's impossible. And if somebody asks you a question that you don't know the answer to, just say, hey, I don't know the answer to that. That's a really good question. Let me get back to you. And you can always find someone that will help you with that. So don't make something up. If you can look it up, that's great. But if you can find someone to help you out with, hey, what should I do with this? Or what would be your answer to this? One of the things that's really good also is those private Facebook groups. It's just agents. And you can get answers to so many things there and even grow relationships. So Audrey, offered to show a house yesterday and then found out she couldn't. But so she's now made a great relationship with Nicole. Nicole's very cute. So daily success habits. So some of the things you need to do is, build your database, practice your scripts, do lead generation. Those are the main things, along with learning how to work with all of the forms and everything else that you need to know as a real estate agent. So 10 contacts per day, 10 conversations per day, 10 notes, handwritten notes. They don't have to be handwritten notes. They can be text, they can be follow-up, whatever. Check out homes. There are more open houses that are happening now. I saw a whole bunch of them going on this weekend. You do have to make sure that you conform to COVID guidelines and wear a mask and all of that good stuff. But you can definitely go in and open houses are great to meet other agents from other agencies. And just introduce yourself.
Do we have to disclose that we're agents with another brokerage when we go through the houses?
You know what? It definitely doesn't hurt to do that. Give them your business card. Yeah. We agents are very I'm going to say we're very friendly to each other. Because we all have to work together. So it's kind of an interesting business because we're all in competition for listings, right? But then once you have a listing, you're relying on everybody else, every other agent to bring a buyer. And then the two of you need to work together in lockstep to get to closing, because if you don't do that, neither one of you are going to get paid. So the more people you know, the better your business is going to be. And that's not just for your people who might buy or sell from you, but also financial people and attorneys and other agents. They're all good to know. Got it. So scripting is going to help you with lead generation, uncovering motivations, identifying objectives. So objections. So I told you that some of the scripts are about, objection handlings, closing deals, speaking in terms the customer understands, building confidence. So there's 2 script books in the toolkit. There's tons of scripts around different places. Learn them, internalize them so that you can make them sound not scripted. Okay, so we're not going to be doing any more script practice today, but I will send you guys the list of you that put your information in chat, so you guys can get together and do script practice. And honestly, I totally recommend that you guys come in for Jared's 8 o'clock in the morning things. He's in,
Those are
like
only in
I said-
person.
excuse me?
Sorry. Those are only in person, right?
Yeah, yeah, he wants them only in person. Yeah, so, I mean, they're great discussions, and he has a reason for each one, but he, you know, basically depending upon what the discussions are, you know, it will change. And today I went in afterwards, before I started this up, and an agent who's been here for a year or so was helping a brand new agent, showing him some things on Matrix. So, you know, it's learning, meeting. You never know what
Those
you
aren't
might learn.
recorded, right?
No, they're not. No. Okay, do not call. Basically now you just can't call anyway. We do have a do not call list available in the know. So if you saw how to get there, there's a do not call registry and how you can access it. Command actually is going to have some capabilities to identify that when you put in a phone number coming down the road. So we're not going to be doing this today because guess what? It's afternoon. So you're going to today, you know, internalize those scripts, start making calls, start building your database, you know, get them into command. And, you know, come to the classes, watch the recordings and things. When you say, oh, I want to do this, how do I do this? There's a good chance that we've had a class on it and that you can go and find it out. And okay, you know, I'm a resource too, as is Abby over at the West office. So command, there's a help section actually. So your name's going to be up here and there's a little question mark that over here in the corner that you can't see, that you can go and look things up. Connect, if you go into connect, just put in a search. There's a whole bunch of different trainings. Answers.kw.com is one of my favorite things. If there's a specific thing that I'm trying to figure out how to do, I'll just go to answers.kw.com, put in what I'm looking for, and find the exact way to do it. Lots of times when I'm teaching a class, it's like, oh, I've never done that before. So I'll go and look it up and figure it out. So your success list, there's a to do, there's a should do, there's priorities, and what's the task. You know, to do, that probably should be a high priority. A should do, that might be a lower priority, but you know, depending upon what's the payback for it. You know, is it something that could possibly have a great payback for you? And then there is a survey. I can send you the link to the survey when I send you your information that you guys put on chat. If you would like to do that, you can fill it out. So how are you guys feeling?
Okay.
Good.
And learning.
There's a lot of resources that I guess I didn't realize that we had, so I feel a lot more confident.
Okay, good. And I mean, you guys were great. I mean, sometimes, you know, we get people on and nobody talks. You guys
When you have a
talk.
class like that, I'd be so bored. I have too big of a mouth for
I
that.
wonder why nobody's talking. They're gonna have to do nothing but talking.
Exactly. So thank you for joining me. Sorry we had the fire alarm in the middle, but you guys were talking amongst yourselves. I know I came in at one point and it's like, oh yeah, I saw mouths moving. I couldn't actually hear anything. So I'm glad you took advantage of that time. And I will get the recording for this out into the our YouTube channel. So if you guys want to go back and catch up on anything, you can do so and have fun with the rest of the classes. You're going to learn so much. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So much. Have a
Thank you,
great day.
Chris.
Okay. You're
And
welcome.
sorry guys for my kid being distracting.
Okay. Bye.
See ya. Bye-bye.
Bye.